Welcome to your Health Facts podcast. Today we are going to be comparing popular weight loss diets and their effects on overall health, particularly focusing on the gut microbiome and metabolic health.
Extreme diets, such as the carnivore and ketogenic diets, often lead to short-term weight loss. However, they are not sustainable and may even harm long-term health.
Interesting. Can you elaborate on why that might be?
Well, one significant issue is their restrictive nature. They often lack essential nutrients, especially fiber, which is crucial for a healthy gut microbiome.
So you're saying the lack of fiber is the main culprit here.
Precisely. A lack of fiber can negatively impact the diversity and balance of gut bacteria, leading to digestive issues, reduced immunity, and even metabolic imbalances.
That makes a lot of sense. So even though these diets are often promoted as natural, they can actually do more harm than good in the long run.
Exactly. These diets introduce a limited range of foods and nutrients, which can be as disruptive to the body's delicate equilibrium as highly processed foods.
I see. So it's not just about what you eat, but also about the variety and balance of nutrients you consume.
You've got it. Now, let's talk about processed foods. Even those marketed as healthy or vegan can contain a surprising number of synthetic chemicals that potentially disrupt gut health and metabolism.
That's interesting. What kind of chemicals are we talking about here?
Common additives like artificial sweeteners, emulsifiers, flavor enhancers, and preservatives might have a negative impact on the gut microbiome.
Ah, I see. And how do these additives affect our health?
Well, along with the typically high sugar content of many processed foods, they can contribute to insulin spikes and, over time, insulin resistance.
And that, I presume, leads to all sorts of problems.
Absolutely. This can lead to weight gain, metabolic disorders, and other health problems.
So even when following a specific diet, it's crucial to be mindful of the ingredients in processed foods.
You're absolutely right. They can hinder weight loss and overall health goals.
Now, what about a diet like the Mediterranean diet? Is that a healthier option?
The Mediterranean diet is often cited as a healthier and more sustainable alternative. It emphasizes whole, unprocessed foods and boasts positive effects on the gut microbiome.
That sounds promising. Can you tell us more about the core principles of this diet?
Of course, the core principles of this diet include an abundance of fruits, vegetables, legumes, whole grains, and healthy fats, particularly olive oil. Additionally, it encourages moderate fish consumption, limited red meat, and minimal processed foods, relying on herbs and spices for flavor.
So it's all about real whole foods and natural flavors.
Exactly. This dietary pattern not only provides a wide range of essential nutrients, but also supports a diverse and healthy gut microbiome.
And what are the benefits of having a diverse and healthy gut microbiome?
Well, this can lead to reduced inflammation and improved metabolic health.
That's fantastic. It seems like the Mediterranean diet is a great way to improve overall health and well-being.
It is, and it also embraces mindful eating and the social aspect of shared meals, contributing to better digestion and overall well-being.
So it's not just about the food itself, but also about the way we eat and the company we keep.
Precisely. Now, what's fascinating is that the principles of the Mediterranean diet can be adapted to various cultural cuisines.
Really? That's interesting. So you're saying it's not a one-size-fits-all approach?
Not at all. For instance, Asian and Latin American diets can easily be modified to align with these principles.
That's great to know. So regardless of cultural background, the key is to prioritize whole foods and mindful eating.
Absolutely. Minimize processed foods and enjoy meals in a social setting.
That's excellent advice. So we've talked about extreme diets, processed foods, and the Mediterranean diet. What about vegan diets? They're often praised for their health benefits, right?
Yes, vegan diets are often praised for their health benefits, but they require careful planning to avoid potential pitfalls.
I see. So it's not as simple as just cutting out all animal products.
Not quite. While a well-planned vegan diet can provide benefits like improved heart health and reduced cancer risk, a poorly planned one can be filled with processed foods that contribute to insulin spikes, disrupt the gut microbiome, and lead to metabolic issues.
That's concerning. It seems like even with the vegan diet, processed foods can be a problem.
They can be. Consuming artificially created vegan foods can lead to the same insulin spikes as non-vegan processed foods.
I wouldn't have thought that. Can you give us some examples?
Vegan-friendly processed foods, including plant-based burgers, vegan cheese, mock meats, packaged snacks, and vegan desserts, are often highly processed and loaded with refined carbohydrates, sugar, or artificial sweeteners.
So those seemingly healthy options can actually be quite deceptive.
They can be. These foods also often contain unhealthy fats, emulsifiers, and artificial additives.
And I assume those components contribute to the same negative health outcomes we discussed earlier.
You are absolutely right. These components can contribute to insulin resistance, weight gain, metabolic syndrome, and other undesirable health outcomes.
Wow, that's a lot to consider. What about the impact of refined carbohydrates and sugars on the gut microbiome?
The refined carbohydrates and sugars found in many processed vegan foods can significantly impact the gut microbiome.
In what way?
Well, they can encourage the growth of harmful bacteria and yeast, such as candida, while hindering the growth of beneficial bacteria like bifidobacterium and lactobacillus.
So it's not just about avoiding animal products, but also about choosing the right kinds of plant-based foods.
Exactly. This imbalance can lead to a range of health issues, including digestive disorders and even chronic diseases like autoimmune conditions.
That's something to be mindful of. Now, what about nutrient deficiencies on a vegan diet? Are there any specific nutrients that we need to pay attention to?
There are a few. A poorly balanced vegan diet could lead to micronutrient deficiencies that impact overall health and metabolism.
Can you give us some examples?
Of course. For example, vitamin B12, primarily found in animal products, is essential for nerve function, red blood cell production, and DNA synthesis.
And a deficiency in B12 can lead to.
A deficiency can lead to anemia, neurological issues, and impaired cognitive function.
That's quite serious. So even though many processed vegan foods are fortified with vitamin B12, it's still something to keep an eye on.
It is. Now, iron is another nutrient to be mindful of, especially for those on plant-based diets.
Is that because plant-based iron is different from animal-based iron?
Exactly. While plant-based sources like lentils and spinach provide non-heme iron, it's less readily absorbed than the heme iron found in animal products.
I see. So what can people do to make sure they're getting enough iron on a vegan diet?
Therefore, increasing the intake of iron-rich plant foods is vital, especially for individuals who menstruate.
That makes sense. What about omega-3 fats? I know they're important for brain health and reducing inflammation.
They are. Omega-3 fats, vital for brain health, reducing inflammation and heart health, are also often low in both vegan and non-vegan diets.
So how can vegans ensure they are getting enough omega-3s?
Vegans can obtain omega-3s from plant-based sources like flax seeds and walnuts. However, these contain alpha-linolenic acid, ALA, which the body must convert to EPA and DHA, the types of omega-3s that offer the most significant health benefits.
I see. So while plant-based sources of omega-3s exist, it's important for vegans to be mindful of their intake and consider supplementation if necessary.
Right, because unfortunately, the conversion rate of ALA to EPA and DHA is relatively low.
What about zinc? I know it's
Mm.
important for immune function.
Zinc, crucial for immune function, wound healing, and protein synthesis, is another essential mineral that can be challenging to obtain on a vegan diet.
And what happens if someone is deficient in zinc?
A deficiency can lead to a weakened immune system, impaired wound healing, and even non-healing skin ulcers.
That sounds serious. Are there good plant-based sources of zinc?
While plant-based sources of zinc exist, their bioavailability can be lower than animal sources.
I see. So again, it's about being aware of these potential deficiencies, making sure you're getting enough of these nutrients through your diet or supplementation.
Yes. Individuals on a vegan diet may need to pay close attention to their zinc intake and consider a low-dose zinc supplement if necessary.
Now, despite these potential challenges, is it true that vegan diets are often low in protein?
Contrary to popular belief, vegan diets are not inherently deficient in protein.
Really? So where can vegans get their protein from?
Beans, lentils, tofu, and whole grains provide ample protein, and by consuming a diverse range of plant-based foods, you can easily obtain all the essential amino acids your body needs.
That's good to know. So it's all about making informed choices and ensuring a balanced and varied diet.
Exactly. However, many processed vegan diets utilize vegan oils in snacks, baked goods, and mock meats.
And is there a problem with those oils?
These oils often contain high amounts of omega-6 fats, which can be pro-inflammatory when consumed in excess.
So even with vegan oils, moderation is key.
Yes. Maintaining a balance between omega-6 and omega-3 fatty acids is crucial to avoid an overabundance of omega-6s and their potential negative effects on health.
Great point. Now let's move on to another popular diet, the Mediterranean diet, which is often considered one of the healthiest eating patterns globally.
Yes, it's associated with a lower risk of heart disease, diabetes, and some cancers.
That's impressive. But is there a single, defined Mediterranean diet?
While there is no single uniform Mediterranean diet, as various countries in the Mediterranean region have unique dietary habits, there are common themes.
Can you tell us more about those themes?
Sure. These themes include a focus on whole foods, predominantly plant-based, and incorporating healthy fats.
So it sounds like a very balanced approach.
It is. The Mediterranean diet prioritizes consuming high amounts of fruits and vegetables, legumes, whole grains, and healthy fats, especially olive oil.
Those are all great sources of nutrients.
Yes. These foods provide essential macro and micronutrients, fiber, antioxidants, and vital chemicals that contribute to health and longevity.
That makes a lot of sense. Now, what about the types of fats emphasized in the Mediterranean diet?
Unsaturated fats, particularly from olive oil, are emphasized, while saturated fat intake is kept low.
I see. And what about other sources of healthy fats?
Nuts and seeds provide additional sources of fiber and healthy fats.
What about protein sources?
Moderate amounts of fish and seafood, especially fatty fish rich in omega-3 fatty acids, are also included.
And what about red meat?
Red meat consumption, especially processed meats, is limited in the Mediterranean diet.
So what are the preferred protein sources?
Fish, beans, legumes, and tofu are preferred protein sources.
Got it. Now, what about seasoning? I know the Mediterranean region is famous for its flavorful cuisine.
Herbs and spices, known for their antioxidant and anti-inflammatory properties, are used liberally to flavor foods, reducing the need for added salt.
So it's all about natural flavors and minimizing processed ingredients.
Absolutely. The Mediterranean diet embraces whole, minimally processed foods and emphasizes the social aspect of dining.
What do you mean by the social aspect of dining?
Sharing meals with family and friends in a relaxed setting promotes mindful eating, better digestion, and stronger relationships.
That's a wonderful aspect of the Mediterranean lifestyle. Now, you mentioned earlier that the principles of the Mediterranean diet can be applied to any cultural cuisine.
Yes, they can. Asian and Latin American diets can easily incorporate these principles.
Can you give us some examples?
For example, Asian cuisines often emphasize vegetables, tofu, legumes, and spices such as garlic, ginger, lemongrass, and fresh herbs.
Right. And many Asian countries have some of the longest living populations globally.
Exactly, which is partly attributed to their traditional plant-based diets.
What about Latin American cuisine? How can it be adapted to align with Mediterranean principles?
Latin American cuisine can also be modified to align with Mediterranean principles by focusing on whole, fresh produce like corn, beans, vegetables, and fruits.
And what about African cultures?
Many African cultures already adhere to Mediterranean-like principles by consuming whole grains, legumes, and vegetables.
It's amazing to see how these different cultures, despite their diverse culinary traditions, share common principles of healthy eating.
They do. Healthy diets across various cultures share commonalities, such as prioritizing a diversity of whole foods, fiber, spices, vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, and adequate protein, carbohydrates, and essential fats.
And all of those nutrients contribute to a healthy body and a thriving gut microbiome.
You got it. These nutrients nourish the body and the gut microbiome, taming the immune system and reducing harmful inflammation.
So the key takeaway here is that regardless of your cultural background, there are universal principles of healthy eating that can benefit your overall health and well-being.
That's a great summary. The key takeaway is that maintaining a healthy lifestyle involves adopting a balanced approach to nutrition.
Can you elaborate on what a balanced approach to nutrition entails?
Sure. This includes prioritizing whole, unprocessed foods, limiting processed foods and added sugars, incorporating a variety of fruits, vegetables, and legumes, and choosing healthy fats.
Those are all great points. And it's encouraging to know that small changes to our diet can make a big difference in our gut health and overall well-being.
Absolutely. Remember, small changes to your diet can significantly impact your gut microbiome and overall health. These diverse whole food diets, they provide the nutrients needed to nourish your body and cultivate a healthy gut microbiome. And in turn, that helps regulate your immune system and reduce inflammation.
So it's like a chain reaction.
Yeah,
A healthy diet leads to a healthy gut, which leads to a stronger immune system and less inflammation.
precisely.
Let's explore some specific examples of how different cultures approach healthy eating and how these approaches align with the principles of gut health.
All right, traditional Asian diets, they often prioritize rice or noodles as staple carbohydrates, accompanied by a variety of vegetables, tofu, and seafood. Fermented foods like kimchi and miso are also common, providing, beneficial probiotics that contribute to a healthy gut microbiome.
So those fermented foods are really packing a punch when it comes to gut health.
They really are.
In many Latin American countries, corn, beans, and plantains form the foundation of the diet. These foods are rich in complex carbohydrates, fiber, and essential nutrients.
Right. And traditional cooking methods often involve slow cooking and stewing, which can help break down food and make nutrients more accessible.
Ah, so it's not just about the ingredients themselves, but also how they're prepared.
Exactly.
African diets are incredibly diverse, but many share a common thread of emphasizing whole grains, legumes, and vegetables.
Yeah. Cassava, yams, and sorghum are frequently consumed, along with leafy greens, beans, and nuts.
So we see these recurring themes of whole, unprocessed foods across various cultures.
We do.
It's really inspiring to see how different cultures prioritize these gut-healthy foods.
It is.
These culturally diverse diets demonstrate that healthy eating doesn't have to be restrictive or boring. By incorporating principles of whole food consumption, balanced macronutrients, and mindful eating, we can nourish our bodies and support a thriving gut microbiome.
Absolutely. Now, let's delve a little deeper into the fascinating world of the gut microbiome and its impact on metabolic health.
Yes, let's do that. Can you start by explaining what the gut microbiome is?
Sure. The gut microbiome refers to the trillions of bacteria, fungi, and other microorganisms that reside in our digestive tract.
Trillions. That's incredible. And what do these microorganisms do?
While they play a crucial role in digesting food, absorbing nutrients, and regulating our immune system, they also produce various metabolites that influence our metabolism and overall health.
So they're like tiny but mighty workers, keeping our bodies running smoothly.
That's a great way to put it. Now, research has shown that an imbalance in the gut microbiome, known as dysbiosis, is linked to a range of metabolic disorders, including obesity, type 2 diabetes, and cardiovascular disease.
So when our gut microbiome is out of whack, it can have serious consequences for our metabolic health.
It can. For instance, studies have found that individuals with obesity often have a different composition of gut bacteria compared to those with a healthy weight.
So there's a clear connection between the gut microbiome and obesity.
There is. Their gut microbiome may be less diverse and contain a higher proportion of bacteria that promote inflammation and fat storage.
On the other hand, what happens when we have a healthy and diverse gut microbiome?
Well, conversely, a healthy and diverse gut microbiome can help improve insulin sensitivity, regulate blood sugar levels, and reduce inflammation, all of which contribute to better metabolic health.
So it's really about creating a balanced and diverse ecosystem in our gut.
Exactly.
Therefore, nurturing our gut microbiome through a balanced diet rich in fiber, prebiotics, and probiotics is crucial for maintaining metabolic well-being.
Now let's shift our focus to the connection between diet and gut health. What we eat directly impacts the composition and function of our gut microbiome.
That makes sense. We are what we eat, as they say.
Right. A diet high in processed foods, added sugars, and unhealthy fats can create an environment that favors the growth of harmful bacteria and disrupts the balance of the gut microbiome.
So those are the foods we want to avoid as much as possible. What about the foods that are good for our gut?
On the other hand, a diet rich in fruits, vegetables, whole grains, legumes, and fermented foods provides the nutrients and prebiotics that support the growth of beneficial bacteria.
Ah, those are the foods we've been talking about.
Yes, fiber is particularly important as it acts as a prebiotic, providing nourishment for beneficial gut bacteria. It also helps regulate bowel movements and promotes a healthy digestive system.
So fiber is like a superfood for our gut.
It really is. Furthermore, a diet rich in antioxidants found in colorful fruits and vegetables can help protect gut bacteria from damage caused by free radicals.
So we're not just feeding our gut bacteria, we're also protecting them.
Exactly.
Now, what about fermented foods? You mentioned them earlier.
Yes, incorporating fermented foods like yogurt, kefir, sauerkraut, and kimchi into the diet can also introduce beneficial probiotics directly into the gut.
Ah, so we're giving our gut a direct dose of good bacteria.
Right. These probiotics are live microorganisms that can help restore the balance of gut bacteria and improve digestive health.
It seems like there are so many ways to support our gut health through our diet.
There are. While there is no one-size-fits-all approach to diet and gut health, it's generally recommended to prioritize whole, unprocessed foods, limit processed foods and added sugars, and ensure adequate fiber intake.
So those are the key principles to keep in mind. Are there any other lifestyle factors that can impact our gut health?
Additionally, staying hydrated, managing stress, and engaging in regular physical activity can also contribute to a healthy gut microbiome.
So it's not just about what we eat, but also about how we live our lives.
Exactly. Remember, small changes in your diet can have a significant impact on your gut health and overall well-being.
That's a powerful reminder. Now, let's discuss some specific foods that have been shown to have particularly beneficial effects on the gut microbiome.
All right. Garlic and onions are members of the allium family and contain sulfur compounds that have antimicrobial properties. They can help inhibit the growth of harmful bacteria in the gut while promoting the growth of beneficial bacteria.
So garlic and onions, those kitchen staples, are actually good for our gut.
They are.
What about cruciferous vegetables? I know they're packed with nutrients.
They are. Cruciferous vegetables such as broccoli, cauliflower, kale, and Brussels sprouts are rich in fiber and contain a compound called sulforaphane, which has been shown to have anti-inflammatory and antioxidant effects in the gut.
So they're like little warriors fighting inflammation and protecting our gut.
That's a good way to think of it.
Berries are always a popular choice. What about their benefits for gut health?
Berries are packed with antioxidants and fiber. They contain polyphenols, which can promote the growth of beneficial bacteria like bifidobacterium and lactobacillus.
So those delicious berries are also feeding the good guys in our gut.
They are. Now, nuts and seeds are excellent sources of fiber, healthy fats, and prebiotics. They provide nourishment for beneficial gut bacteria and can help improve gut diversity.
So they're like a complete package for gut health.
They are.
We've talked about fermented foods before, but it's worth emphasizing their importance again.
Definitely. Fermented foods, as mentioned earlier, are rich in probiotics. They introduce live, beneficial bacteria into the gut, which can help restore balance and improve digestive health.
So yogurt, kefir, sauerkraut, all those tasty fermented foods are our allies in the fight for gut health.
They are. Incorporating a variety of these gut-friendly foods into your diet can support a healthy and diverse gut microbiome.
It seems like diversity is key when it comes to our diet and our gut microbiome.
It is. Now let's address the role of the gut microbiome in immunity. The gut is home to a vast immune system, and the gut microbiome plays a crucial role in training and regulating immune responses.
So our gut is like a training ground for our immune system.
In a way, yes. Beneficial gut bacteria interact with immune cells in the gut, helping to distinguish between harmful pathogens and harmless substances.
So they're like the gatekeepers, keeping the bad guys out.
Right. They also produce short-chain fatty acids like butyrate, which have anti-inflammatory effects and support the integrity of the gut lining.
So they're not just protecting us from invaders, they're also keeping our gut wall strong and healthy.
Exactly. A healthy gut microbiome can help prevent the overgrowth of harmful bacteria and pathogens, reducing the risk of infections and inflammatory conditions.
So a healthy gut means a stronger immune system.
Conversely, an imbalance in the gut microbiome can lead to a weakened immune system and increased susceptibility to infections.
So it's a two-way street. Our gut health affects our immune system, and our immune system affects our gut health.
It is. Therefore, maintaining a healthy gut microbiome is essential for supporting a robust immune system.
Now, let's explore the connection between the gut microbiome and mental health. This is a fascinating area of research.
It is. Research has emerged in recent years, highlighting the fascinating link between the gut and the brain, referred to as the gut-brain axis.
So our gut and our brain are constantly talking to each other.
They are. The gut microbiome communicates with the brain through various pathways, including the vagus nerve, the immune system, and the production of neurotransmitters.
And imbalances in the gut microbiome can affect our mental health.
Imbalances in the gut microbiome have been linked to mood disorders, such as anxiety and depression.
That's incredible. So what's the mechanism behind this connection?
Well, studies have shown that certain gut bacteria can produce neurotransmitters like serotonin and GABA, which play a role in regulating mood and anxiety.
So our gut bacteria are actually producing chemicals that affect our brain chemistry.
They are. Furthermore, gut dysbiosis can lead to inflammation in the body, which has been implicated in the development of mental health conditions.
So taking care of our gut health could potentially benefit our mental health as well.
It could. Therefore, nurturing a healthy gut microbiome through diet, lifestyle modifications, and potentially probiotics may have a positive impact on mental well-being.
Now let's delve into the concept of personalized nutrition and its relevance to gut health. Is this the idea that what works for one person might not work for another?
Yes. As we've discussed, the gut microbiome is unique to each individual and can be influenced by a variety of factors, including genetics, diet, lifestyle, and environmental exposures.
So there's no one-size-fits-all approach when it comes to gut health.
Personalized nutrition takes into account these individual differences and aims to tailor dietary recommendations based on an individual's gut microbiome profile and health goals.
So how does this personalized approach work in practice?
Well, this approach involves analyzing the composition and function of an individual's gut microbiome through stool testing.
Stool testing.
Yes, and using this information to develop personalized dietary strategies. For instance, if an individual's gut microbiome analysis reveals a deficiency in certain beneficial bacteria, dietary recommendations may include incorporating specific prebiotic or probiotic foods to support the growth of those bacteria.
So it's about identifying the specific needs of each individual's gut and tailoring recommendations accordingly.
Precisely.
Personalized nutrition is still an evolving field, but it holds great promise for optimizing gut health and overall well-being.
It does. Now, let's discuss some practical tips for cultivating a healthy gut microbiome.
All right, let's get down to the nitty-gritty. What can people do to improve their gut health?
Well, first and foremost, eat a diverse diet rich in fruits, vegetables, whole grains, legumes, and fermented foods. This variety of foods provides a wide range of nutrients and prebiotics to support a diverse and thriving gut microbiome.
So variety is key. We've heard that before.
It is. Limit processed foods, added sugars, and unhealthy fats. These foods can disrupt the balance of gut bacteria and promote inflammation.
So those are the usual suspects. What about incorporating fermented foods?
Incorporate fermented foods into your diet regularly. Yogurt, kefir, sauerkraut, kimchi, and other fermented foods are rich in probiotics, which introduce beneficial bacteria into the gut.
So those are good for a daily dose of probiotics. What about probiotic supplements?
Consider taking a probiotic supplement if you're unable to obtain sufficient probiotics for your diet. Consult with a healthcare professional to determine the right probiotic strain and dosage for you.
So it's always a good idea to talk to your doctor before starting any new supplements.
It is. Now, aside from diet, there are other lifestyle factors to consider.
Like what?
Getting enough sleep. Sleep deprivation can negatively impact gut health and disrupt the balance of gut bacteria.
So a good night's sleep is not just good for our minds, but for our gut as well.
Right. Manage stress. Chronic stress can negatively affect the gut microbiome. Engage in stress-reducing activities like yoga, meditation, or spending time in nature.
So those stress-busting activities are doing double duty.
They are. Stay hydrated. Drinking plenty of water is essential for maintaining a healthy digestive system and supporting the growth of beneficial bacteria.
So water is truly the elixir of life. What about antibiotic use? I know that can sometimes disrupt the gut microbiome.
Avoid unnecessary antibiotic use. Antibiotics can kill both harmful and beneficial bacteria in the gut. Use them only when prescribed by a healthcare professional.
So antibiotics are a double-edged sword. We need them sometimes, but we should use them judiciously.
Exactly. And lastly, engage in regular physical activity. Exercise has been shown to have positive effects on gut health. Aim for at least 30 minutes of moderate intensity exercise most days of the week.
So moving our bodies is good for our gut as well.
It is. By implementing these tips, you can create an environment that fosters a healthy and thriving gut microbiome.
It sounds like a holistic approach is key.
It is. Remember, nurturing your gut microbiome is an ongoing process and requires consistent effort. Small changes can make a big difference over time.
Now, let's address some common misconceptions about gut health.
All right. One common misconception is that all bacteria are bad.
Oh, that's definitely not true. We've been talking about all the good bacteria in our gut.
Exactly. While some bacteria are indeed harmful, the vast majority of bacteria in our gut are beneficial and play a crucial role in our health.
What about probiotics? Are they a magic cure-all?
Another misconception is that probiotics are a magic cure-all. While probiotics can be beneficial for some individuals, it's important to note that not all probiotic strains are created equal, and the effectiveness of probiotics can vary depending on the individual and the specific strain.
So probiotics can be helpful, but it's not as simple as just popping a pill.
Right. Another misconception is that gut health is only important for digestive issues.
I think we've debunked that myth pretty thoroughly.
We have. However, gut health has far-reaching implications for overall health, impacting everything from immunity to metabolism to mental health.
So gut health is about so much more than just digestion.
It is. It's also important to remember that gut health is not a destination, but a journey. The gut microbiome is constantly evolving and influenced by our daily choices.
So it's about making consistent, healthy choices over time.
Exactly. Therefore, it's crucial to adopt a holistic approach to gut health that encompasses diet, lifestyle, and stress management.
Now let's explore the future of gut health research. What's on the horizon in this exciting field?
Well, scientists are making remarkable strides in understanding the complex interplay between the gut microbiome and human health.
What are some of the key areas of research?
Advances in sequencing technology have allowed researchers to study the gut microbiome in unprecedented detail, leading to a wealth of new discoveries. Researchers are investigating the role of the gut microbiome in a wide range of diseases, including autoimmune disorders, cancer, and neurodegenerative diseases.
So the gut microbiome is being implicated in more and more health conditions.
It is. They're also exploring the potential of personalized medicine approaches to gut health, tailoring treatments and interventions based on an individual's gut microbiome profile.
So we might see more targeted therapies for gut health in the future.
We might. Furthermore, the development of new prebiotics, probiotics, and other gut-modulating therapies holds promise for improving gut health and preventing disease.
So the future of gut health research is full of possibilities.
It is. The future of gut health research is bright, and we can expect to see even more groundbreaking discoveries in the years to come.
That's exciting to hear. In conclusion, nurturing our gut microbiome is essential for overall health and well-being.
It is. By adopting a balanced diet rich in whole foods, incorporating fermented foods, managing stress, staying hydrated, and engaging in regular physical activity, we can support a thriving gut ecosystem.
So it's about making those small, sustainable changes that can add up to big improvements in our health.
Exactly. Remember, small changes can make a big difference, and prioritizing gut health is an investment in your long-term health and vitality.
As we wrap up our discussion on weight loss diets and their impact on the gut microbiome and metabolic health, it's clear that what we eat can profoundly affect our overall well-being.
Absolutely. And it's not just about the food itself, but also our mindset and lifestyle choices that contribute to a healthy gut and balanced metabolism.
So it's about taking a holistic approach, considering all aspects of our lives.
Precisely. And remember, making gradual, sustainable changes is key.
Small steps lead to big changes over time.
Exactly. And for those seeking more insights and resources on healthy living, be sure to subscribe to yourhealthfacts.com.
That's a great resource for anyone looking to delve deeper into the fascinating world of health and wellness. Well, that concludes our deep dive into weight loss diets, the gut microbiome, and metabolic health.
It's been a pleasure discussing this important topic.
Thank you for sharing your expertise. And to our listeners, we hope you found this information valuable. Remember, knowledge is power, and by understanding how our food choices impact our bodies, we can make informed decisions that support our long-term health and vitality.